Hey, what's going on, Pats Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Cans Pats Talk Patriots podcast. Today is Tuesday, man. It's cut down day for the Patriots. We got a lot of news to talk about, quarterback battle. I'm also here with my boy Stats, man. What's going on with you?
Nothing much, man. It's been a wild 24 hours. Actually, dating back to even Sunday, 48 hours. We got a lot to talk about. It's a big day for any football fans, but I'm excited.
Yes, man. Hey, let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. You seen the 53-man roster jump, man. A lot of surprises, not so surprises. What really stood out to you? What stood out to you so far? Me, I'll start with myself. I think the 7 wide receivers. You got Kayshon Boutte and Jalen Reagor making it, along with the 2 rookies. We knew Pop, Thornton, Osborne. We knew they was gonna make it. Born on PUP. We kind of knew that. But are you surprised that we kept so many wide receivers?
Yeah, I did think either Reagor or Boutte were going to get cut, one of the two, but I guess if you really, break it down, they kind of do have a place. Jalen Reagor is a solid special teams player. He did have a really bad drop against the Commanders. Drake made a nice throw to him. He threw it perfectly in place where he didn't get hit. I am kind of surprised at carrying 7 because, that is a lot of receivers. But again, Reagor did have some moments in camp, so we'll see if he can, carry that in. Kayshon Boutte didn't play in the last preseason game, kind of odd there. But I think this is really his time to show what he's got, because we know he has the talent, but he hasn't really showcased it in a game yet, really. So we got to see that in the regular season, and then obviously the rookies. As bad as much as Baker has been struggling. You have to have him on the team. You got to give him a chance, and I think he could still. I still believe in him to develop into something. He's just got too much talent not to, but he's definitely got a lot of work to do. He's probably going to start as maybe our 5th or 6th receiver right now. Hopefully he can work his way up. My question for you is, who do you think our number 1 guy is out of them?
Out of the receiver?
Yeah, accounting for preseason and how everyone's performed.
I would go between Polk and Pop, but I think going into the season, a lot of people still don't know about Polk. I think it'd be Pop, then Polk. Thornton is the X wide receiver, but we haven't seen him do much. He did a little bit in practice. Osborne's kind of hit and miss. You don't know what you get with him. Then you got 2. I think what's going to really energize the group is going to be the 2 rookies, Javon Baker and Jalen Poe, if they can make some plays. Because so far the whole draft class made the team. Let's go ahead and get around the clause of that. The whole draft class made the team. So Jaheim Bell made that tight end. I think he's gonna get some playing time. I didn't see that coming beforehand. But injuries, he took the reps over and looked pretty good. So he took advantage of the opportunities. I'm surprised that we kept so many wide receivers, but I think right now, Pop is probably your 1. Now, he's not a league-wide 1, but he's our 1 for the team. And I think Polk after that. They see what you get from the rest of the guy. That's how I feel about it. I'm surprised that we kept I see a comment. I'm surprised that we got Hasty over Harris, the running back. I thought we would have killed. Now I like what I've seen for JaMycal Hasty, 27 years old, I believe. I've seen a lot of him in a screen game, but I think Kevin Harris scoring a touchdown in the past couple of years. He's been pretty good in training camp in the preseason. I thought we would have killed him. Maybe we can get him back on the practice squad.
Well, the thing with JaMycal Hasty that kind of confuses me is, you don't really have that power back anymore because, Antonio Gibson and Jermichael Hasty are extremely similar players. They're pass catching backs. They're third down backs. They're going to catch screen passes. I would have liked to keep Kevin Harris on the roster just as that power back, goal line back. Because Stevenson, although he is a big guy, he is strong. Kevin Harris is more of a power back. If you're at the 1 yard line, first and goal, you want to bring him in for a run because he had that one run against the Chiefs last year where he broke, 5 tackles. He also had one the year before against the Cardinals. I think he'll be back in the practice squad, no doubt. But it also wouldn't surprise me if another team signed him because Kevin Harris is not a bad player. But Jermichael Hasty has had a really solid preseason. He looked really good against the Commanders, especially. He's really good at getting open in those checkdowns. He's pretty shifty in the slot. Going back to the receiver thing, Jalen Polk has really impressed me. His ability to separate because he doesn't have that burner speed, but it just proves to you that you don't really have to be a good receiver in this league. Because he's been getting open and he's looked like Drake May's favorite target. That throw that Drake May when he stepped up in the pocket and we'll talk about the game in a second and threw that dime to him. That was awesome. So I actually am pretty happy with our receiving core right now. I think we got a bunch of solid dudes. I like Pop, I like Polk, I like KJ Osborne. We'll see what Taekwon does. Maybe Keyshawn Butte can emerge into that. You got some solid Z receivers. I don't love the X's. I would love for Baker to pop into that. But you got Pop in the slot. You got Polk and Osborne as your Z, and then we'll see what happens at the X spot. But I'm pretty happy with the receivers, and it's pretty cool that our whole draft class ended up making the roster too.
Let's take a minute and talk about the depth at quarterback right quick. Let's move on to the quarterback right quick. Just the depth, not the whole quarterback position, just the depth. You got Drake May. Well, let's just say Brissett, May, Milton. Are you on? Well, I'm pretty sure we're not surprised that Zappy got cut there. Were you surprised by that?
No, not really.
Do you think he'll be back on the practice squad? Me personally, I think he's going to be back on the practice squad. I don't know because last year he didn't get claimed, but I think this year he got enough tape on. It's a lot of teams that probably need some depth at quarterback, need extra quarterback. Maybe he might, if he doesn't get claimed by Tim, I think he'll end up back on the practice squad.
Yeah, I do agree with that because I'm not really sure. I can't really think of a lot of teams that could use a Bailey Zappi right now. Maybe like the Carolina Panthers, but even Jack Plummer had a really good last preseason game. I just really don't see a team.
I think Detroit.
Maybe
I
Detroit,
think they backup got hurt or something like that.
Yeah, Hooker. I think but like even that, I just don't really see a team going out of their way to sign Bailey Zappi. That's just my opinion on that. But, I think keeping Milton as the third guy was the right move because you got the veteran. Even though he hasn't been great, he's still going to be a good mentor, whether he's playing or not. Obviously, you have Drake May, and then you have Joe Milton, who I would much rather have as the third guy to come in, throw a Hail Mary, bring that, exciting factor because we know what Bailey Zappi is. He's a below average game manager at best. So I'm not really surprised by that move.
Okay, staying with the quarterbacks or whatnot. Okay, let's just say Brissett gets to start as we think might happen, which we're going to get into this deeper in a little bit. But let's just say Brissett gets to start. Brissett gets hurt. Do we go to May or are you comfortable going to Milton? Because, if they don't want May to start, you got to be because of the offensive line or maybe because he ain't mentally ready. So if you really don't want May to play till about the middle of the year, if Brissett was to get hurt, which he's known to get hurt, he just got hurt the other night.
Yep.
Who do you go to Milton to protect May from going in, or because I would have thought they would have kept Zappi if they want to go with somebody that's familiar with the system, I'm not gonna say Zappi familiar with the system because this is first year in this type of system, but just a veteran quarterback.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing about a month ago, but I think the Patriots have realized with the way that Drake May is playing, if they do plan to start Brissett week 1, and God forbid Brissett goes down, I think they think Drake May is up for the task. I think if Drake May, wasn't having, if he wasn't having a great preseason, he wasn't making flashy plays, they might have kept Zappi on the roster just to be that safety blanket to come in. But I think, he's so close because obviously, like I said, we'll get into this. May is the much better quarterback than Brissett. It's not even close. But obviously they want to give him some time. Don't want to rush him. He's about to turn 22, but he's super young. But I think they think he is, ready to go. And if, like I said, God forbid Brissett gets hurt in week 2, I think they're totally fine with handing the keys over to Drake May.
Moving on to the offensive group. How you feel that? I went back and watched some of the game. How you feel the offensive line performed on Sunday? It was bad, but when I went back and looked at it, aside from the penalties, I don't think it was that bad. It was a lot of like mental errors and things like that, but it was a couple bad players that performed that night. Man, what you think about that? And I think that's probably the main reason why we probably won't see May week 1 is because of this offensive line. I think if the offensive line was just okay the other night, I think May would be starting because I think he outright beat Brissett, which you're about to get into that here in a second. But how do you feel about the offensive line? And then keep in mind too, yeah, we have 53 men on the roster, but we still can make some maneuvers. We still can maneuver in the roster, claim some people. I know we already got some claims in, so we probably add a couple more. And some of these guys that we just mentioned, they might be off the roster or something like that because I know we put in some claim for some tackle, linemen, or maybe run. I think we need another running back too. So, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, so the first thing you got to take into consideration if you're watching the game is, first of all, a lot of them errors were on Nick Leverett at center, and he is not our center. That is David Andrews' job. But we can take away the bad snaps. That will not be happening with David Andrews in there. So you eliminate like 4 bad plays because Nick Leverett had about 3 bad snaps to Drake May in one drive. It was ridiculous. So you could take those away. It wasn't even really there was obviously there was some blocking miscues. You know, we saw Layden Robinson run into City Sal when he was coming across the line, to block the other side of the line. He ran into City Sal. That turned into it. I think that was the play Brissett actually got hit. But again, that's not really a physical, problem. It's just, because this group hasn't been with each other. They have no chemistry.
It's first game they played.
So it's not like our tackles were getting absolutely blown by every play because they weren't. The problem is Chuck Okorafor just doesn't trust himself and he gets penalty. He's lining up, farther back than he should, and he got penalty. Drake May had a great throw to KJ Osborne, had to come back because Okorafor. The interior of the line, they look shaky too. But like I said, it's a lot of chemistry things. We can make fun of the line that you have going. But chemistry might not sound like super exciting, but it really is a big thing for an offensive line because you see it. You got guys running into each other in the middle of the line. That's what happens when you got 5 guys that haven't played together the entire offseason. That's why Coach Mayo wanted to aim for a starting O-line by the end of week 1 in the preseason, and unfortunately we couldn't find that. And we're stuck in a situation now where we're throwing 5 dudes together, 2 of them out of position. And they have no chemistry at all. We're going into Cincinnati week 1. We still don't really have a starting offensive line. We don't know if Adarian Lowe's going to get back in there.
That's crazy. They don't got the line figured out, and you're about
it really is scary because, like I said, Drake May, he has outright won the job. If you know anything about football, Drake May has looked better in every aspect. Brissett looks slow. He doesn't get the ball out fast enough. He's been overthrowing guys. Although that one throw to KJ Osborne was a nice throw. I think KJ Osborne should have gone up with 2 hands. But Drake May has just looked like the better player. He moves so well in the pocket. He takes shots at the right times, but he rolls out of the pocket at the right times. And we saw that 3rd and 14 play. He's just outright beat Brissett. But we still don't have a starting O-line yet, and we are 2 weeks out of week 1. And you see how bad the chemistry looked last night. Or 2 nights ago against backup Commanders defensive players. Just imagine how it's going to look against starting Cincinnati Bengals against Trey Hendrickson, against who's on the
Seattle.
Yeah, against Seattle, Boye Mafe, Leonard Williams. So it's just
then the Jets and then San Francisco, then Miami. I mean, we can go on and on.
It's just such a problem. And it really does suck because you have such a special talent at quarterback. He has done nothing. He has looked amazing the entire preseason, the opportunities that he's gotten. And if the O-line is the reason why we're holding him back, that's just not a position you want to be in.
Yeah, I think the offensive line. And I think they said it. I think it was today or yesterday. Cole Strange, he's going on PUP. Kendrick Bourne's on PUP. Taki's on PUP. I think I would say Cole Strange might come back and play backup guard or backup play center or something like that. Maybe backup tackle. So I don't know. I think guard or center probably his true position. I wouldn't mind seeing him at center unless if Andrews leaves next year, that'd be interesting. But I'm not betting on Cole Strange to come back this year to do anything significant anyway. I think that sells the offensive line. Tight end, Jaheim. I'm happy Jaheim Bell made the team, which I think he was going to make it anyway, but the injuries kind of pushed it up anyway. Austin Hooper, Hunter Henry, you know what you got there. The defensive line, Crystal Barmore, he's on the I think PUP list, I think too, or the
he's on the it's like a weird list. I forget.
Injured, I forgot. Yeah, some non-football injury, probably NFL list. I think that's probably what it was, NFL list. But he's going to be on that. He's not born. Probably won't come back to like week 5. He can't come back to week 5. I think Miami So you got that figured out there. Marpu, that's a mysterious injury. I don't know what's going on with him. That's crazy. They haven't even said what the injury is. He looks
I was
fine though,
just gonna.
walking around.
I just don't understand what's going on with him.
You been there? Like, was he limping or something when you was at
No,
camp? Or
he looked perfectly fine. He just didn't have pads on. He was just standing. He was standing there with his arms crossed the entire time. You know, he had a walkie-talkie on his ear. I don't know what's going on with him.
they haven't even said anything
Every
about the
report,
injury.
it just says it's an undisclosed injury, and it's like we haven't heard a single detail about anything that's going on with him. You know, and that's not good because it's not like he's like this roster lock. This superstar that we have. He's got guys in front of him that he needs to fight over. Jalen Hawkins is eventually going to take his spot. So, I don't know what's going on with Marte Mapu at all.
Yeah, sticking there, safety Dale Pettis, undrafted, he made the team. Hawkins, Duggar, Pepper's going to make it. 7 cornerbacks. So we're going to talk about the secondary for a little bit. Well, it's linebacker. I think Christian Ellis made it. Raekwon McMillan and Bentley, Tavai, those guys are going to make it. I like what I've seen from Ellis in the preseason. I like what I've seen from him.
Yeah, great game in Washington.
Yeah, Uche and Zim. I think O'Shane and Zim, he can do something too. He can bring you something. I don't like the depth there. I think we need something else, but I think let's see what we can do with that. But the 7 cornerbacks, and then Marcellus Dow. I thought Marcellus Dow was gonna be on the outside looking in.
Yeah, he struggled this preseason a lot, and it is tough to cut your draft picks that you draft that year. You want to give him at least a shot. He had some very, very low lows in the preseason. He did not look good. We talked about this, earlier in the offseason, way before cuts were coming up. The cornerback room was going to be a hard room to determine because you got the top guys. You got Gonzalez, you got Jonathan Jones, you got Marcus Jones. And then you got a second tier with Alex Austin. I think Alex Austin was pretty clear he was going to make it. But then you had Marco Wilson, Isaiah Bolton, and Marcellus Dow. We were pretty confused, and Sean Wade in that mix too. Sean
Wade got cut.
Yeah, and we were pretty confused on who was going to make the roster, and they decided to keep all 3 of them except for Sean Wade. Sean Wade had a better preseason than Marcellus Dow. There's no doubt about it. Marcellus Dow was probably our worst cornerback the entire preseason. But you unfortunately you're forced to keep him because you did draft him, so you got to give him at least a year. With the linebackers, I loved what I saw from Raekwon McMillan. He looked great.
He just got to stay healthy.
He looked great. Yeah, because we know he's got the talent. He looked great against the Eagles. He's going to be a great special teams guy. Christian Ellis had a great game against the Commanders. I think that's how he earned his spot. I think it was between him and Joe Giles Harris, in my opinion. And
Giles got cut.
Yeah, and he just outright beat him in the Commanders game. We've been talking about this guy a lot too. Armon Watts cut. Not a good signing at all.
I haven't heard anything from him all summer.
Yeah, I haven't either. But I'm not surprised he got cut at all.
Are you surprised Tristan Hill made it?
Yeah, a little bit. I wasn't really hearing too much about him. That's like one of my surprises. But again, there was nobody behind him that was playing better than him. So like Purcell or Armon Watts, Sam Roberts. I'm fine with cutting all 3 of them, and give that kid a chance, I guess.
Joseph, what's going on? Hey, if y'all in here, we got a bunch of people in here. Hit that like button on YouTube. Hit on Twitter, IG, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you at. Please hit that like button and share the content. Joseph, Ward, what's up? Miss you too, man. What's going on with you? Next week, man, we're gonna be full loaded. Make sure y'all tune in. Oh, and 137, what's up? But what's going on with you? See, I was kind of surprised about Kevin Harris and Bledsoe getting cut. Yeah, Kevin Harris, Bledsoe, he's been cut the past couple of years. Somehow he found his way back on the practice squad, so I wouldn't mind Bledsoe. But Harris, that really shocked me. I thought Harris really coming on.
Del Pettis beat out Josh Bledsoe.
Yeah, Joseph said, okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes. Drake May was clearly better. He has to be the starter, right? Let's stay right there. You were just about to get into that, man. The game of the night, Drake May look. If we're grading A to F, I'm giving it an A+. I think he looked good. He was good. I mean, he's checking all the boxes that we've had. I mean, we can't every week it's been like excuses or the weather or the offensive line, something like that. Like he's checking all the boxes. I still think he should sit because my take on I want Jacoby to start. Now May is the better player. Physically, I know that May's a better player, but I think the way if the offensive line hadn't been so bad, I would have been like all out, like right now, go ahead and start May. But with the offensive line so bad, go ahead and start Brissett, let him and just go from there. But I also could see it from the side of starting May. I mean, what difference does it make starting him week 1 and week 6? I'm just throwing that out. I don't know when he's going to gonna start. But what's the difference in week 1 and 6? Not much. Because the offense line probably not get too much better. It's not. So my thing is, man, on one side of me is like I'm like 50-50 on it, but I'm leaning towards going to start Jacoby because, like as I said in previous shows, it's easier to pull Jacoby for Drake than to pull Drake when things go bad. You get what I'm saying? Where you stand on
Yeah.
that, Stat?
Well, another thing that I did see a comment from Joseph, and it said, what's the difference between starting them between weeks 1 and 4 and bringing them in week 5? And it's a really good question, but there's a couple answers I can give for it. Number one, let's just say Drake May goes out there, he starts off 0-4. His confidence is it could not be lower. You can't take him out. You cannot take the rookie out. It would kill them. Bryce Young didn't get taken out last year, so you're kind of left with a low confidence young quarterback that doesn't look good. Another thing is the schedule of the first 4 weeks. I don't care if the O-line's not going to improve. You cannot throw Drake May out there against the San Francisco 49ers unless you are so confident in him, because going to San Fran, going to New York,
Oh, that game is in San Fran, right? Yeah,
going to Cincinnati. That's another thing, Joseph, because I want to answer your question because it is a tricky question. There's a lot of different factors. I do like him sitting for the experience, being behind a veteran guy, seeing how he handles a good defense. And, after that, you bring him in week 5. I think we play Miami week 5. They're not as strong on the edge. They're not as strong on the edge. They got injuries there. So after that, you can kind of ease Drake May into it. But, throwing him into the fire weeks 2, because even Seattle's got a good D-line, and obviously
good
the
defense.
49ers.
They got a defensive coach.
Yeah, obviously the 49ers and Jets, are going to be tough no matter what. But that you can kind of go a couple ways with it. But I will say one thing. He hasn't really had many sack problems. His ability to move in the pocket is incredible. He made a couple beautiful throws with his ability to move in the pocket. And when he needs to roll out and run, well, he can absolutely do that too. He's not scared to get hit. He doesn't slide too early. He'll get hit, but he'll do anything. Exactly. He'll do anything to get the first down. He seems like he's a super tough kid. But just imagine how bad of a feeling it would be week 3. We're in San Francisco. Nick Bosa, first drive, just nails Drake May, concussion or
I think
broken ankle. It would just kill us.
I think what it is, Drake May has exceeded the expectations early from where they had him at. They thought he's probably, a couple of people were saying like he needs to sit a couple of years and all like that. I think the reason he's came on so quick, you remember a couple of weeks ago, we were saying that he probably wasn't gonna be able to catch Jacoby. We still had 2 weeks left.
Yep,
But yeah, I'm thinking that he's came on so quick and it's kind of caught the coaching staff by surprise. And then while he's came on, Jacoby's kind of went down. So that's what it is. And we seen that Jacoby has not looked good. Even the other night, he had to miss the Osborne. I think Osborne could have caught that ball. And then I like the blitz. I like that blitz when they blitzed. I think it was a 0 blitz, and he just threw it out to the flats to Gibson.
Yep.
That was a nice play. But how many plays can you expect like that from Jacoby Brissett? Is what I'm asking. Then he got hurt. So I think the Carolina game, he didn't play good. He was only there for a series. The Eagles game, he was brutal. Threw the bad pick in the end zone, overthrowing Pope. And then this past game here, he made a couple plays, then he got hurt. So you've got to kind of got a mixed bag on Jacoby. You don't know what you're going to get. But, like, if we can get him through the gauntlet, like the first 4 games are hell. Like, it's a tough gauntlet there. I mean, you got go to Cincy, then home for Seattle. Then you're at the Jets on a short week. Then it's it's San Francisco. Like, Jacoby ain't gonna play. Jacoby's not going. I think May gonna be in by week 5 when they play that second home because the fans gonna be clamoring for it.
Yeah,
and I think tomorrow it'll be official. Gerard Mayo should go ahead and let them know that Jacoby Brissett is a star. I think he wanted to wait till after the cut down day, after the cuts today. So I think it's gonna probably be Jacoby. I just think I'm gonna go back to my previous statement. It's easier to bench Jacoby for May rather than put May out there and then have everything just collapse on him or whatnot.
Perfect.
I think it's easy to go from him.
You brought up a great point, Joseph. I'm gonna keep talking to you here. Initially, we started calling Drake May. We'd have to wait 2 years for him. That's the initial thought. We literally thought Brissett was gonna be the guy this whole year, and then next year we were gonna maybe even sign another bridge guy, maybe give May another year. He has taken so many leaps and bounds in such a short time too. It's not like it's been a couple months; it's been a couple weeks, and he has taken so many leaps that, like you said, it's caught the coach by surprise. The coach is by surprise. And on top of that, Brissett has looked horrible. Brissett has not looked like an NFL starter, and he's going against backups. He did not look good against the Eagles at all. That was not their starting defense. We watched the film. Ken, I know you watched it. He had a couple guys open there. He threw it to literally the worst guy. First of all, he threw it to your tight end who was completely covered. Second of all, you had Tyquan Thornton wide open on the right, and you had Pop running a zig route in the middle. So these past couple weeks, the coaches have moved from May probably won't play this year to May might come in halfway through the season to now Drake May could earn the starting job. So it's a lot. It's a lot. He's moved up literally 17 weeks in the span of like a 17-week season. I mean, in the span of like 2 weeks. That's how much better he's looked in Jacoby, and that's how much he's developed. And I saw your comment, Joseph. If he does develop, and like let's just say it's like we're talking all negative here. Like, oh, what if he gets eaten alive by the O-line if he looks bad? What if on the other side he looks great? That's a plus. But we just would rather be safe because we know the talent is there. And, we want this guy to be our franchise guy for 10, 15, 20 years. So I agree. It is an interesting conversation to have. And it's a tough spot for the coaches to be in because either way, people are going to be unhappy. If May starts, people are going to.
Oh, yeah, they're going to go crazy if May start and the persist. They really can't win. But I want to talk about this comment right here. Just a good point. I've been thinking about this one right here. The narrative has been since day one of camp that the better quarterback is going to start. So now is the narrative going to change? That's my question. Not a good question, tremendous question, Joe. That's a great question right there. If we're going to hold Mayo to his word about the best guys going to play, well, who's the best guy? Drake May.
Drake May.
If we're going to stay with that, now I think it was Joseph the other day that said that asked that do we get like it's like a confusion like Mayo and Van Pelt they're on odds, they're not in agreement or whatnot. I think it was Joseph that said that. But I think Mayo wants May to start, the best player to start, and I think Van Pelt wants who's familiar with the system to start. That's what I'm starting to believe and whatnot. If Mayo's gonna hold true to this comment right here, because Mayo's been saying that like, hey, the best quarterback is going to start there. It's going to be Drake May. It's not even close. It's going to be May, but that's a good question. That's what's going to be interesting to see. Like, does Mayo have final say? Does Van Pelt have final say? Or does Elliott Wolf have final say? So that's the thing that we do not know.
What does scare me about that situation is Mayo has also said that Van Pelt has full say over anything.
And Mayo's been going back and forth off his word. He's been saying.
He said Van Pelt has full word on anything that happens with the offense, which means that, Van Pelt wants Brissett to start. And if Mayo sticks with his words, then that means Brissett will start. But, if you want, from a fan's perspective and, you want to see your football team be better, if Drake May starts, your ceiling is a wild card team because you don't know the upside. His upside could be a top 10 quarterback. He could have a CJ Stroud type season. He could also have a 2-win season. The floor is way lower with him. The ceiling is way higher. Brissett's going to be right in the 5 to 7 range. He's not going to be any worse, not going to be any better. May can get you 9-10 wins. Call me crazy. You guys can call me crazy in the chat. He can. He has the talent. He can make plays.
I don't know about 9-10 year one. No, I don't know about year one because we got a bunch of the hosts. But you got to bet. I think if our win total was 4 or 5 wins with Brissett or whoever, I think May get you. I mean, I think May can get us to at least 6 or 7. I think 6 or 7 for this year. If everything goes right, I think you got to weigh in the schedule, tough division, injuries, offensive line. I think 6 or 7 wins in year one for May. If May starts all season, I think we can get at least 6 or 7 wins. I think that's realistic.
I'm just saying, if everything goes right with the team, the line. I'm not saying the line's going to be elite. They're not going to be. The best they can be is a below average line. They're just not going to be better than that. Let's just say the line, they figure it out and they're like around 20-ish.
A decent offensive line, yeah.
22, and then May looks phenomenal. Jalen Polk looks like he's an ascending star. The defense, we know they're going to be good. I think Drake May, maybe not 10. I think Drake May can win us 8 or 9 games. I really do.
A lot would have to go right for that, though. A lot would have to go right.
That's why I'm saying the absolute ceiling is that because all those 50-50 games that we have towards the end of the year, Drake May can steal those games for you, man. He can. That's just who he is as a player. But again, I'm asking for a lot here. But it's just it really is a tough conversation. We've never had this before. With a quarterback like this, because you're kind of in a tough situation because Mayo kind of put us in a tough situation. He said May's second best quarterback on the roster. Well, I don't know if Gerard really thinks that anymore because it's not looking like he is. I'm not too sure what Jacoby has done to make him think that. So we can talk about this for hours on end and keep going in circles. We're gonna have to see what Mayo says tomorrow because that's
Diane says May look good. Should we still start Brissett though? I'm still worried about our offensive line. Yes, I'm terrified about the offensive line. I mean, that was not, and that was against Washington's second and third string. That was not good. Now, in saying all that, it was the first time the offensive line played together. I don't think they're that daggone bad. And maybe, like I text you, man, maybe Vidarian Lowe isn't that bad.
If we're saying that, then our offensive line is not in a good place right now.
Right. Let's see. So glad Zappy is gone. Please don't bring him back. Good God. I don't think he heard anything on the practice squad. Jim McKinley, thank guys for keeping us up to date. And I agree with Diane. Offensive line breakdown. I think we're going let's go ahead and break down offensive line. I know we brung Andrew is going to be there. Low. So I think So got hurt the other night in the game. We haven't heard anything about that. So I'm thinking that we hadn't heard nothing. That's probably good news. What you think?
Yeah, it's like I heard it was an ankle injury. It's probably one of
we didn't put him on IR or nothing like that. Well, yet. So
I think at that point they were just keeping him out for precautionary reasons. There's no reason to put him back in at that point. But that's not the guy.
Yeah, I think if it was bad, we'd been and heard something, right?
Yeah, 100%. He's one of our better linemen, so you don't want him getting hurt.
Yeah, so I think the best combo now, let's just say So is not hurt. I think you got to go Vidarian Lowe, City So, Andrews, Owenu, and then I guess Chooks at right tackle, but Chooks got called for the illegal alignment or whatnot like 3 times the other night. So I think I heard somebody say earlier that Chooks kind of playing like Trent Brown, like he doesn't care or something like that.
He kind of is, but as much as I hate to say it, Ken, Vidarian Lowe's probably going to be the starting left tackle. Like Chuck Okorafor looked absolutely terrible at the left tackle.
Yeah, left tackle. And he was a right tackle at Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, he is. I will give him one thing. He is a right tackle. And as much as I like Mike Owenu, I actually read something today. I was talking to somebody about it. Mike Owenu put on a lot of weight this offseason.
He looks big.
He's a big dude. He's a big dude. So moving him, he's an elite guard. Like he is a very good guard.
Oh yeah.
With his size and how he's built, I just don't think he can be a successful tackle, especially because you're throwing him out of position. It's kind of unfair. I would so much rather put Caden Wallace at one of the starting tackle positions and just see what you got in him. Because, I actually would put him over Okorafor because as bad as Lowe as.
So what's your best offensive line? If it was up to you, what you think the best combo should be?
It's probably Lowe at left, unfortunately, right now. And this is pre-waiver claims because I guarantee you we're gonna put a claim in for a few tackles. So you got Lowe, So Andrews, Owenu, and Wallace, maybe, but I think
I seen somebody say like I think it was Lowe, Robinson, then Andrews, Owenu, and Wallace at right tackle. So basically you starting the 2 rookies, Robinson at left guard. And if So was hurt, probably. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, Robinson at left guard, Owenu at right guard, Andrews center, and Wallace at right tackle.
Okay.
And Lowe as the tackle. So
is that like accounting for So's injury because
if So was hurt, if So was hurt,
he has to start. He's probably our second best offensive lineman. We'll see what happens there. It's just not great. We still don't have.
And it's crazy. We're still like less than 2 weeks away. You don't even have a starting offensive line.
We're still talking about the line, and we're not. Oh my god!
Going up against Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, we're.
Joseph, we all agree the offensive line has issues, but May has been so much better. These guys' careers don't last forever. Yeah, he may get hurt or injured, but quarterback drafted in the top 3 should start. I agree.
It's a tough question. It really is. Like I said, we can go in circles for this for hours. We're just gonna have to see.
Joseph, not gonna lie, I'm getting tired of the protect me. Yeah, let them play, man. Let them play. What's up, guys? Surprise cut. Wade and Harris. Neil, what's up? Appreciate it, man. Hey, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button on YouTube. Give me the thumbs up, man. Hit the like on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, IG. Share the content. Appreciate it. Hit the like. Appreciate the shout out, Neil. Joe's I'm not gonna lie, I'm sick of the May could get hurt narrative. How old was Joe Burrow when they threw him into the woods with the offensive line and he did pretty damn
Well,
well? He
actually,
did.
Joe Burrow got hurt.
Yeah. Like his game, like the first game on it, or the first
Yeah,
one
he
of the first
got
couple
hurt.
of games.
So actually, that's that. Joseph, you're smart. He got hurt. That is
Ugh.
literally what happened. And
But he went to the Super Bowl too with that offensive line the
yeah,
next year.
yeah, and they did make moves. It wasn't as bad as it was the first year, but he did get hurt.
And I think their offensive line is still okay. It's okay. It ain't like it was.
No, yeah, it's not great.
Let's see. May starts by week 5 once offensive line figured out with Ray. Yeah, I agree. That's where I've been staying at too. If Dre doesn't start because of the offensive line, I'm very disappointed in our offseason. They should have had a contingency plan for this. The guy was drafted top 3. Of course, he's a stud. Yeah, and some guys can just like Patrick Mahomes. He didn't have a good offense line his first couple years. Some guys know how to get rid of the ball. They know how to maneuver their way in the pocket. They just know how to get away things. I think that's a lot putting on a rookie, though, man.
Can I just say one thing? Like we could say like all these guys, didn't have good O lines, but I don't think I don't think some people realize like how much of a hole our offensive line is right now. Like it's like we could say what we want about the Bengals or the Chiefs. Our line is way worse than theirs or in their rookie situations. Like our line, I promise you these two teams had a starting line by a week and a half before the season. We don't have a starting line. We do not have a starting offensive line. I want Drake May to start. I do, because he can do so much more. But we do not have a starting line.
Joseph, waiting 3, 4, 5 weeks. What does that do? That's what I've been saying, man. Waiting. What does him not starting one? But we're just gonna throw him in at week 5 or 6 or 8. Is the offensive line gonna get better? Maybe they can be more comfortable, but I don't know how much better they're gonna be.
I just think it's the schedule, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, if it's all about the schedule, that's one of my things. Like, why does it matter when does he play? He's a professional quarterback. He's number 3 overall pick. He can't run for these hard teams forever. You know what I mean? Just let him play. Like, I never understand. Now, I've been on it with the offensive line. Like, don't start him cut the line. But I've been hearing people say, hey, you don't want to start him against this team or that. I mean, he's a quarterback. You know what I mean? He's going to run. He can't run against. He can't run. He can't run away from these teams forever. That's my point on it.
Yep.
We should go get Gore Jr. That's a good point. We should go get Gore Jr. and tackles. Yeah, I think we need another running back. Frank Gore Jr. got released from the Bills.
Yeah, I saw that.
Status, how are you?
I'm good.
What's going on with you, Neil? All right, we're getting ready to wrap it up here. Let me see.
Sports Academy had a good comment.
I'm getting to it.
Yeah.
So can I ask you guys straight up question? We don't start there in week 1. We wait till week 5. So what's going to change in 4 weeks? Like I said, I guess the offensive line be more comfortable, I guess.
Yeah, it's just a chemistry thing with them.
Yep. So we just have to see, man. Jake Cabot, what's going on, Jake? Hopefully Barmer gets healthy sooner rather than later. Good point. I think Barmer might come back sometime this season. I mean, the fact they put him on, I can't think of the list they put him on, but it's not a long-term thing. I'll look it up when I get off.
He's on the NFI.
NFI list?
Thing that Antonio Gibson was on.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Jake Hope, the blood cost. Yeah. But I think he posted on Instagram the other day saying that can't wait to get back out there. So he's staying motivated, man. So we'll see. Bill does have upside, but everyone's upside on offense goes down with percent. Agree. I like Jaheim Bell.
I do too.
Let's see, Jalen Hawkins, dope.
Yep. I'm super happy for him.
You guys like the Josh Bledsoe cut? I didn't like us. I don't like nobody really getting cut, but I don't like to see nobody lose a job. But it is a business. I think Bledsoe will be back on the practice squad.
Like I said, Del Pettis beat him out for the last safety spot.
Del Pettis gonna be a play. I like him.
Yeah.
So we should see, man. Let's see. I know it's absolutely brutal. I don't want to rush back. Health is more important. Agree.
Yep.
I wanted Bledsoe to stay, though. He did solid.
Yeah, like Ken said, he'll probably be back on the practice squad.
Yeah. I appreciate all the guys. A lot of comments, man. I appreciate all of you, man. Thank you, MA Football. Yeah, we did have them on. Try to get the Sports Academy. Let's see. May looks really good the past couple. Yeah, man. Hey, ever since that Eagles joint practice, he's been hitting all cylinders. Like last 3 weeks. That's why I said if it's strictly about who's playing the best, it's gonna be Drake May.
100%. But unfortunately, there's other circumstances that are holding them
Exactly.
back.
Week 1 or 6, what's the difference? I think the offensive line, I guess, like I said, getting more comfortable.
Yep.
That guy has to be the only thing. Let's see. Jamari, what's going on? What's going on?
I'm
Appreciate
Jabari.
it. Won't surprise me. He just got to start at some point this year. He definitely gonna play this year. I
100.
don't think you can hide him. You can no. He's definitely playing this year.
Oh yeah. I mean, you could have questioned that a couple months ago, but he is 100% playing this year.
Jim, hey folks, maybe just play things game to game to start with the quarterback. What do you think about that?
I mean, again, it's tough. It really is because honestly, you brought up a good point. I was bringing up the schedule thing, but now that you really say that,
What does it matter?
I gotta stop bringing that up because it's like he's gotta play these teams eventually because
hey, look, next year when he's gonna be the quarterback for the full season, let's just say we got the Eagles week 1. Where we want to hide? Well, we don't want him playing week 1. We're gonna start Joe Milton that game.
Yeah, so
I never understood though. You can't just throw him out there against the 49ers. I mean, he's a quarterback. He's a number 3 overall pick. I mean, he can't run. He don't make the schedule.
I'm gonna take that statement back. I don't know why I kept saying that.
No, you're not the only one that said that. A lot of people have said. I'm like, why does it matter?
The only reason I guess I would say that is just it's pretty much the O line is what I'm talking about. That's pretty much all.
I got you. I've never really understood like you can't just throw them out against this team, but the Dolphins going to be easier week 5.
Yeah.
So you're going to have them play catch up against Tua and Tyree all game.
Yep.
Sports Academy. Here's my hope. I hope the fans and the media just chill and give Coach Mayo a chance to run this team and make decisions. I don't think Mayo's off to a good start so far. The way he deals with the media, that's why I miss Belichick because Belichick didn't give us nothing. So sometimes it's best not to say anything. Now I feel like Mayo's kind of trying to suck up to the media and open up a little more, but it's not working out right.
I think Mayo's in-game coaching is gonna be really good, especially for the defense. But I agree. He's said some questionable things in the media, but in-game coaching, he's gonna be fine.
We always question why Belichick acted like that towards the media. Now we see why.
Yep.
If this quarterback decides 100% on Mayo, I would hope so. I mean, he's the head coach. I think he has final say so.
Yeah, I really hope so because as much as I want to rely on Van Pelt, Mayo needs to have the final say.
I know I need to punt the break, but my God, he look like Josh Allen to me. He does look like Allen, but I'm gonna throw out another future Hall of Famer, and I really don't like this quarterback like that. But he looks like Aaron Rodgers to me. The way he throws the ball, like he just throws from different angles, and I think it was the first pass he threw to I think it was Pope on the play action. He's still in the pocket, and he threw it. He actually had Pop Douglas open in front of him. But he went to Pope and he threw it on it, like he just threw it. And then he threw one to the the right sideline to Javon Baker. Yes. You see how quick that ball got there?
That's an unbelievable point. And I was gonna say this earlier, but we weren't talking about it yet.
He looks like Aaron Rodgers throwing.
He could have easily just made the easy pass to Pop in the slot. That's the easy way out. He took the shot to Polk 10 yards more down the field, and it was a perfectly executed play. I'm so happy you brought that up because those are the little things that people don't look at. But if you want your quarterback in the future, if you want him to be that guy, he's got to take shots sometimes, and that was a perfectly executed play.
Even the one that he threw to Kevin Harris, I think if Matt Jones, Bailey Zappi, or anybody throws that pass, that's a pick.
So fast.
That's a pick six. That's a pick six if they throw that. Now we can still be saying that about if that was the Washington starters, or if you're throwing that against Sauce Gardner or Jalen Ramsey, maybe. But May got the way that ball got there so quick. That was crazy. You see the orange straight; it jumps off the screen.
Yep. Because people talk about Joe Milton's arm, but May has a really big arm. Like people forget about that. May has a very big arm.
Yeah. Let me Diane, good point. Sports Academy. Let's see. We won't be able to do anything with no offensive line. 100% agree, Jamari. Texans were worse than us at this point last year, so I know we would need some breaks. But hey, who knows? I don't think Texans had this schedule we got.
Yeah, the AFC South wasn't as strong last year, but I've brought this up. Their defense was definitely not as good as ours, but we'll see.
Agreed. It has a lot to do with your receivers, offensive line.
Yep.
we can barely get a drive off without penalties. That's the bad. But like when you're a bad team like us, you can't have penalties. You can't
Nope.
have illegal formations, false starts, fun. You can't have that. Cause now you second and 6 goes to what, first and 15 or second and 2. You can't have that, man. You're not a good team. You can't do that.
Yeah, because you can't be putting yourself in more holes than you're already going to be. So that's a good
Sports
point.
game. What we saw from Drake May on Sunday night was not a fluke. He is the real deal. He looked poised and in total control and made great decisions. I mean, he throws the ball so smooth. I know he has that long release, but sometimes you can't even tell because the ball get there so good. And
Yep.
like, I think he kind of fixed his release a little bit. It's like the ball getting out quicker now.
Yeah, he has definitely fixed a lot of stuff. He doesn't really have happy feet as much in the pocket, and like you just said, the ball gets to the receiver so dang fast. So it's just awesome.
Before we get out, I want to say, like, I know we can question Wolf and some of the people in the front office about the offensive line and whether they should have been aggressive. But one thing we can't question is they have really developed Drake May well in terms of footwork, his mechanics. He's came a long way. So we got to give them a hat. You got to give him a pat on the back for that. They really helped him out because coming in, he was supposed to sit probably a year or two, and they fixed his footwork, his throwing motion, some of the drifting in the pocket. You still see it a little bit, but they have really the quarterback coach, all the court, they really worked on him. They've honed in and kind of got him where he needs to be at.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the year they went to the Super Bowl, they had drafted Chase. They did have Chase. That is because, but the way they got Chase is because Chase was they had a top 5 pick, and then Burrow had got hurt. So that's how. Not wish nobody get hurt, but if that was to happen, you can get a top 5 pick and go from there. So we'll see, man. Let's see. Stats, you got anything else to add tonight?
I think we covered a lot of the stuff that I was looking forward to. One more thing I was gonna say is
Go ahead.
the kicker competition. Joey Sly won it. I think he completely deserved it. Chad Ryland looked terrible. I just don't trust him. Every time last year he came up to kick a field goal, I had zero confidence in him, at all. It felt like I was watching, Steven Gustavo get his career all over again. So I'm happy for Joey Sly. He's got a big leg. The field goals he kicked in the game against the Commanders were over 60 yards, so you can't really judge that. But what do you think about that?
Well, we are talking kickers, so I'm not gonna say too much, but kickers do win games though. So Joey Sly, he has a funny shape. He's a built. He's a well put together. Yeah, he doesn't look like a fullback or something.
Yeah.
But Chad Ryland and just I mean, that was crazy. I'm not the harp, and I love Belichick, man, but not the harp on. But you traded up to get the kicker, and now he's gone, and you could have had probably DeJuan Jones. Could have had another had a couple of tackles. We got like 20 guards on the team. I think Antonio Murphy got cut too, right? Yeah, Murphy got cut.
Yeah, terrible. He
like, I mean, you trade up a couple of pieces to get Chad Ryland and then the guard that you trade up to get and the kicker. I mean, no, you didn't trade up for Murphy, but you got Murphy, Andrew, they're not on the roster no more. And then you got Andrew still on the roster, he's hurt, but Murphy, Chad Ryland, that could have been 2 tackles right there that you got.
City So was a good pick. I'll give it to him. But
So was a good pick.
The other 2 were disaster.
Let me see. I'm gonna go back to this comment right quick. Ximines and Farnes going to be solid. Yeah, I forgot Farnes made the team. I didn't even. Yeah, White breakout year. Go ahead.
I really like the D line. They were probably our most consistent position the entire preseason. I liked even the guys on the bottom, like Tristan Hill. He earned his roster spot. Did O'Shane didn't dress against the Commanders, right?
No, he got hurt against the Eagles, I believe.
Yeah, he had a solid offseason. I'm actually he was one of my biggest surprises. But he earned his spot. Again, that's how you earn your spot on football teams. You got to make timely plays. And that first game against Carolina, he was getting to the quarterback pretty much every.
Had a couple sacks.
Yep.
Keon White, it's gonna have to. Keon White is gonna have to be the motor of that defensive line, man. There's nobody else. He's gonna have to be White. He's gonna have to. So it's gonna be very interesting to see, man, what happens, man. Jaheim Bell thoughts. I'm glad he made the team. Explosive player. We just gotta use him in a. We gotta get the ball to his hand. He's not a good blocker, but you gotta get the ball in his hands. I won't expect, nothing crazy from him, but just gotta get the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I think it'll be good for him to learn under Henry and Hooper. Those are 2 veteran guys that you can have in front of him. Bring Jaheim Bell in for a 3rd and goal situation out there. He's a big guy.
Desmond Harry kind of reminds me of Andrew Luck too. I seen somebody else. I forgot. Somebody else said Andrew Luck. Yeah, I can see it.
I mean,
I think the way he threw that ball to Poe looked like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Yep. And the one he had to Osborne too when he was rolling to his left, that was also an Aaron Rodgers-esque throw too.
Yes, sir. Hey man, that's gonna be it for us tonight. We're gonna go ahead and get off for the night, man. We appreciate all y'all joining us, man. We will be back on tomorrow to break down because we should have a quarterback. We should have a
Yeah.
start tomorrow.
Yep.
So we'll come back on and talk about that and probably start talking about the Bengals, man. Try to get some guests up for next week. And but other than that, Stats, you got anything else left for the crowd? A lot of people in
No,
tonight.
that was an awesome night, guys. I thank you. We appreciate the communication so much. The comments, it means a lot. And guys, just please go subscribe to Ken. He deserves it. He puts so much work in. Give the guy a like. Get him on the map because he deserves it, man. He knows more
It's
than all
our
the
channel. This is our channel. This ain't my channel. It's our channel.
I'm just saying, like, more than the mainstream guys like Toucher and Rich and all those buffoons. So just make sure you subscribe, guys. I appreciate everybody in here tonight. That was awesome. That's the most fun I've had in a while. We got a lot to get into tonight, but I love the comments tonight, so I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. We will be back on tomorrow night, talk about the quarterback battle and probably look ahead to the Bengals, man. Appreciate y'all joining us, and y'all have a good night.
Yes,
We
sir.
out.